Warning. The following podcast is utter nonsense and may cause agoraphobia, kleptomania, insomnia, and oppositional defiance disorder. We are required by law to provide you with this disclaimer for hazardous materials.
America, vote for me. No more taxes. Instead, Schedule 1 drugs at the supermarket free of charge. Canada shall be ours. A handgun for every child. Every one of you is a dream-deferred millionaire. We will blow up the moon, execute the homeless, steal all the oil, make all the money, create all the jobs. Let's get one thing straight. This America, my America, is an America that fucks. See you in November.
This bit of dialogue is coming from I Pledge Allegiance to the Mask. Apparently, this is
by Christopher Cantwell and Patric Reynolds. It is, it's so good.
It is so good. And we are Hazardous Materials, last week's comics this week. And my name's Casey Johnson. With me as always,
Gideon Gonzalez.
We do our little bit here reading about comics from last week. Bring it forward this week, a day before the new stuff comes out. And of course,
throw in any comic and comic related news out there for you that caught our interest.
We were reading The Mask right before we started recording, and we couldn't stop laughing at this monologue. So we had Gideon do it as a cold open. Our first cold open.
Yes.
Episode 14, first cold open.
It's such a good monologue.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
We had so much more to say. It gets so much worse.
So that's from the bearer of the mask in the series is Dean Abner, who is a very milquetoast, bland, back of the pack politician who stumbles upon the mask.
As you do.
And turns him into a populist madman.
And it's so well timed.
Yes. And that's his opening campaign video after he gets the mask.
And what was that one guy says? I don't care what race he is under that mask. If it's white, though, that's best.
Yeah. There's a whole sequence where it's going through like the news talking heads reactions. Mm-hmm. And one of them is saying, well, the polls are saying that a reaction like a extreme reactionary might be appealing to voters. And he's leading the charge. And the other guy says, that's just because every other candidate has been brutally murdered.
Welcome to the mask.
It is
interesting timing about this because there's I hate to talk about rumors, but this one is just so well timed. Apparently, Jim Carrey is being sought at to do a follow up for the mask.
I'd be interested in seeing that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, so the Mask movie is fun, but it's not the Mask movie I would want, but I understand why the decisions were made, and it's a wildly popular movie. It's far more popular than the comic ever was.
And we talked about the differences between the movie and the comic before. Apparently Mask is a big thing here.
I'm a big Mask fan, so I'm going to push for that anytime I can. But I mean, Son of the Mask, though.
Yeah, that's what we're wondering why Dark Horse has been like getting cold feet about the whole Mask property.
Because it's been 17 years, I think, since Joker Mask.
And that was probably Jamie Kennedy putting that one into a grave.
Yeah. Oh, Jamie Kennedy.
But now he's back. And I wonder if this is going to be like a new stream of Mask related comics.
I hope so. Mask Mania is back. The 90s are alive.
So this was a Mask. I Pledge Allegiance to the Mask number 2. Moving right along, we're talking now flash forward number 3.
Yeah. Once again, very fun issue.
Very fun issue. I enjoyed it. And we were introduced to the Justice League of Vampires.
Yes.
Nice bunch of people. Spittle there.
Wally West has to team up with that world's Arsenal, who's a vampire hunter.
Yes, who quickly dispatches the Flash. And you see Flash thanking him, in typical I'm dying vampire fashion.
Flash.
Yeah, the Vampire Flash.
Yeah.
And that's when we get the new byline that Wally's now telling people, I'm the fastest man in the multiverse.
Yes, good.
That's our Wally West.
Put that respect on my boy.
Right there. We should do an episode where we're wearing Wally t-shirts.
I mean, I have a Wally t-shirt.
And I don't.
You fool.
I know. And that's on me.
My favorite bit about this issue, though, was that the way Wally dispatches of the vampire Batman is he shoves him into the Batcave's atomic pile, which is designed to look just like the one from the Adam West Batman show.
And he gives him credits like there's no way that's going to take him out, but damn, he's going to be living in pain until someone decides to go get him.
I just wish he dropped the iconic line from the first episode of Batman 66. What a way to go.
See, you picked up on that and I didn't. Of course, then I haven't seen that episode in decades.
I'm a massive Adam West Batman fan. I've watched the whole series through at least 3 times.
Did you also keep track of Mayor West and Family Guy? Who's my favorite scene was his cat launcher gun.
Who is Adam Wee? When he runs out on his light bright, spelling his name. So we're still following our good buddy Wally as he's trying to redeem himself, and I guess running into Arsenal, the very guy that he killed in that miniseries. I really am not a big fan of. Yeah, we're not talking about it. We're talking about the fallout from the book, but we're not going to talk about the book itself. We're not going to talk about
what came before because. When I saw the cover of this, or when I saw the solicitations of this, I thought maybe they were going to bring Arsenal back, but I guess it's a little too soon for that.
Yeah, they also they do kill off Roy Harper, Vampire Hunter.
Yeah. I guess that's the way it's going to be for poor Roy. He's just going to catch a bullet blade, arrow, or any other nastiness. Slash. You got slashed this time by Batman, right?
Yeah, Vampire Batman gave him a good cut across the chest.
Comic style, you don't really see how deep the injury is until our boy Roy dies.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's always bad when someone screams afterwards, "Oh my God!" So yeah. What else did we pull from this? Actually, what's the name of the overarching guy that's making this whole
Tempest Fusionaut?
Yeah. There was something he said at the very end of this about the fact that he was trying to make a hero, and this was like a first for him.
Yeah, he's like, I've seen many things in my time as Tempest Fusionaut, but never the birth of a hero, or something along those lines.
That's a good McKellen you got going on.
Thank you.
Now we've casted that role. Moving on, we're going to talk about the question. I did not get a chance to read this one, but you got it.
A really cool mainstream Black Label book, which I really appreciated, which is what I want from the imprint in general, is just doing high caliber creators on smaller characters that might not otherwise get attention. So in that vein, we have The Question, written by Jeff Lemire, one of my favorite current writers, with pencils by Dennis Cowan, who famously drew The Question back in the 80s, and with inks by his pretty regular partner and one of my favorite artists, Bill Sienkiewicz.
Sienkiewicz. I've come to have a love-hate relationship with Sienkiewicz. I dislike what he did. I've already said this a million times. You know what I'm talking. I'm going to go into a big long spiel about Sienkiewicz hate love.
Well, you do get a good amount of this trippy Sienkiewicz stuff where there's a sequence where Vic Sage is put under the influence of some drugs, so you get a nice weird trippy page of that.
We're gonna have our own. Was it that? Sienkiewicz did that thing in Moon Knight called Scarlet.
Yes.
How trippy that one was. That's every time you say trippy and Sienkiewicz, I always think of that issue, that stained glass Scarlet thing of Moon Knight. As much as we've talked about it, you know what? Here's what I'm talking about, and here's the cover first. Stained glass Scarlet. That thing's beautiful.
It's one of my favorite pieces he's done.
Yeah.
But so here, Vic Sage is, and I appreciate this, very, very much an objectivist character as envisioned by Steve Ditko when he created him. He's an ass.
Oh, yeah.
He is very much, his opening line is like, there is a right and there is a wrong. And if you don't know which is which, you're probably on the wrong side. Oh. And he has a very hard line, and he will not compromise, and he will not understand a shade of nuance.
He's Rorschach.
I mean, Rorschach's The Question.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, that's right, he is. I
haven't read all of it, but my favorite issue from the O'Neill Cohen run on The Question is where he actually reads a copy of Watchmen and basically comes to the conclusion that Rorschach sucks. He's like, man, I should try to be like all intense and intimidating like that. And he gets his ass beat. And so.
Well, there is no gray area with Rorschach. I should have put that two together. But then again, I mean, the Watchmen was supposed to be
the Charlton characters.
Yeah. And also some elements of Justice Society.
Yeah. The Minutemen more JSA, but like the main characters in Watchmen are like 1-to-1 parallels. Like you've got Rorschach's The Question, Night Owl's Blue Beetle, Dr. Manhattan is Captain Atom, Silk Spectre's Nightshade, the comedian is Peacemaker.
Who's Peacemaker? I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Peacemaker is a guy with a big shiny silver helmet. He carries around a gun. He works for the government. John Cena's going to play him in the Suicide Squad movie.
Oh, that Peacemaker.
Yeah, that Peacemaker. It's an old Charlton character.
That's going to be hilarious.
Oh, yes. I hope he has the big dumb helmet.
I hope he does too.
And while...
That reminds me of Bullet Man.
I've said many dumb things in my day, but I've never done something as dumb as write a think piece about how Rorschach is what Batman would be like in real life. It's like, no, you hacks. He's the question. They're two different characters. It's very clearly not a Batman.
Hindsight is 2020. So I guess you liked how this whole thing ended up.
Yes, it was a really good like noir take on the character. I mean, obviously it's going to be, but I mean, Vic Sage questioned it in a solo series is something we haven't seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah. Wow. He handed it off to Renee Montoya about 10, 12 years ago?
13, I think, in 2006.
Yeah.
And I love the Renee Montoya question stuff, but this is a very different, I don't want to say it's, okay, I'm going to say it's less grounded because it does involve time travel, in fact. Sort of question mark where it's not 100% clear if it's actually time travel or if Vic Sage is just tripping his mind out.
Quick sidebar on that is that Renee Montoya is going to be played by Rosa Perez in Suicide Squad.
She's going to be in Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Oh,
as that character.
Are you sure? Because Renee Montoya is in Birds of Prey.
I meant to say Birds of Prey.
There we go.
I'm sorry.
I knew that, but she's not going to be the question, which is a little disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, they're both group things from DC.
Yeah, and they both have Harley Quinn in them.
Exactly. So you can see my easy confusion on that one. But yeah, I mean, she's just playing a cop. She's not doing a whole question routine.
One thing I did like is they brought back the guy who taught the question how to fight, Richard Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't remember the last time I saw Richard Dragon in a DC comic. Like, I know he's been on the Arrow show.
Not since I was a kid.
Yeah. But he's here. He's very old and decrepit and in a wheelchair.
Was he a Charleston character?
I don't think so.
He seems like he would be. He
might have been. The earliest thing I remember him is in the Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter book from the 70s. But I believe that was a DC book because Bronze Tiger's in that as well.
I was just about to bring up Bronze Tiger and see if he was related to him.
Yeah. Bronze Tiger first shows up in Kung Fu Fighter.
Isn't Idris Elba's doing Bronze Tiger, right?
Yes.
That's going to be cool.
I'm very excited about that because I
very
love
excited
me some
about
Bronze
that.
Tiger. Question, real good. And the ending is, because we were talking about how I was like, oh, there's maybe time travel. He does in fact wake up in the Old West. So that's going to be wild.
Okay. Funny thing. Loki #5 came out this week, and of course, yet another surprise last issue.
Yeah.
You only find out in the letters column is the fact that it's over. But I mean, Loki goes back in time to the Wild West, specifically 1911, the last days of the Wild West, and he gets into a bar fight. And I noticed that everybody he's getting into a bar fight are the Nick Fury and his Howling Commandos.
Oh, that's pretty fun.
Yeah,
the cowboy versions.
Exactly. I mean, you had like Dum Dum Dugan was in there.
Did he still have the bowler hat, or did he have a cowboy hat?
He had a cowboy hat.
Oh, disappointing. They had bowler hats back then.
Oh God, what was the guy that turned out to be a Hydra agent?
Agent Sitwell.
Yeah, Sitwell was in there too, and it was clearly Nick Fury. Although when he took his hat off, he had a big old thing of blonde hair. It was like a blonde Nick Fury. But that was amusing.
That's fun.
Yeah, good old Loki caught a bullet in the head, and apparently he can survive that.
No, it happens.
As you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving on from Ye Old West, we've got
Immortal Hulk.
It's an Immortal Hulk week, so you know it's a good one.
Yeah, well, it's a semi-good one. I mean, we do get some Hulk action in this book, but it's nothing eye-opening, gross, or nasty. Because now that's you brought a particular thing to the game, and now we want it every time we get it. I want to open up Immortal Hulk, and I want to see something truly horrible.
I mean, the Abomination arc just went so ham on it. I think they're like, all right, let's give him a rest before we really hit him again with it.
I just think they've raised the bar on what is expected of this book, and when you don't get it, you're like, well, maybe next week.
I really love all of the political and societal stuff they're dealing with, where Dario Agger, the CEO of Roxxon Industries, his treasure, yes, the Minotaur, his treasure is not all of the oil. It's all of the information that he mines from people. Yeah,
apparently he's got a data center on the West Coast, which, for all his bravado, that's apparently his weakness.
Yeah.
He's got like trillions of bits of information, like Facebook level information on this server. And he's like, it's perfectly safe. And Immortal Hulk just goes straight after it.
Just smashes the hell out of it.
Yeah. And while he's talking about it, this happens.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no one's going to go after that. I've got 4 of my berserkers on this and this and it. And we'll use those berserkers to go find the Hulk. It's like, no, sir, the Hulk has come and found us. He's trashing the place.
And to that, Agur grabs one of his employees that he's talking to and just squeezes him. And
because he needs a stress ball.
Yes. I apologize, gentlemen.
I need a stress ball. The entire issue, this small elderly man is sitting next to the Minotaur, and you could tell there was a setup. It's like any minute now he's going to die horribly. I could just see it. So when it finally happened, it's like, there's my payoff.
Beautiful.
There's my payoff. Now I'm not gonna eat lunch now.
But speaking of beautiful, the ending where it's revealed that Devil Hulk is starting to develop a tolerance to the sun.
Yeah,
gorgeous page of him looking at the sunset.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, we'll see. Actually, funny story. And Marvel's solicits came out today for February.
Oh, yeah? And
they teased a living Hulk. The whole thing is like, you've heard about this scary devil Hulk who's been coming out at night and breaking things. Mm-hmm. Well, here's we have a new Hulk for you, a friendlier, softer Hulk, the living Hulk. So I'm curious to see if this is like a new Hulk persona or if this is
sandals. He's going vegan.
He's a chill Hulk.
He's a real vegan. Yeah.
And I will say this again, speaking of beauty, Alex Ross's cover for this issue was amazing and had me totally ready for a Minotaur and Hulk throwdown on Wall Street. I kind of like what we got here better though. It was a nice, smart issue of Immortal Hulk.
Now this is issue 27. So that means we've got 27 Alex Ross pieces out of this. Marvel is spending some money on this thing.
I said it once, and I probably said it actually 5 times then, but I will keep saying it. I think it's the best work of his career. Like
easily.
his whole covers, they're so gorgeous. They've got such high concept stuff. It's him going into territory he's never worked in before. It's like the Hulk and Hell covers, I think, are the best things he's ever painted. They're just phenomenal.
I think he probably thinks the same thing, and we're probably going to get like a big art book of just these covers.
God, I'd buy it. I never buy like cover books, but I'd buy Alex Ross's Complete Immortal Hulk.
I've also said that I would never buy a cover book, but then I bought the Preacher cover book because of Glenn Fabry's work.
Yeah, those are pretty gorgeous.
They really are.
And you can leave the Arseface #1 page open for guests.
So
right on your coffee table.
I don't know if anybody's seen Arseface in the Preacher TV show, but the Arseface in the comic books is so much worse.
So more gnarly.
Oh, yeah. His face is so much more messed up, and he's in a constant state of drooling, which you really only get in the very last episode of the Preacher show, the good old Arseface drool. But yeah. Oh, the more we talk about it, you know what? I'm throwing it up. Check out this cover. this awful, awful man. Or this boy, this poor Arseface.
Man, if the mask monologue didn't get us marked not safe for work enough.
Yeah. This is definitely our not safe for work episode. Oh God, he's really that hideous.
Yeah, it is a butthole. Poor face. So moving on from that though, I jumped on to a book that I've been meaning to get on, but it's always been a little too crowded on my pull list. But I was like, you know what? I'm interested in this arc. I like the creative team. Let's jump on to Captain Marvel.
Yeah, brought you over
with number 12, the Dark Carol Last Avenger arc, written by Kelly Thompson as always, with art by Lee Garbett. This is a badass fight issue.
It really is. And with fight issues, you're going to consume it very quickly.
Yes.
This is a 5-minute book. Yeah. Easily.
But it's an awesome 5-minute book.
It's an awesome 5-minute toilet book. I guarantee you. If you're going in for a squat and you want to read a comic book, take Captain Marvel 12 with you.
That's not meant to be disparaging.
No, not at all.
It'll be the best shit of your life.
This whole book is a fight.
Yeah,
just between Captain Marvel and Thor, and it's a throwdown.
Beating Thor's ass all over the planet. There's a 2-page spread where it's like big panels, and each one is labeled as a different continent.
It's like Greenland, Kansas, Oklahoma. It was like, damn.
Yeah, and it ends with her presenting her master with Thor's decapitated head.
Yeah.
We don't know how Carol got to this Dark Carol point.
No.
We do know that Vox from Death of the Inhumans is back, and I don't quite remember what that guy's deal was, and I don't care to remember. I'm assuming it'll be in the next issue.
Because I've never had an interest in reading any Inhuman books.
Yeah, there's some good stuff from time to time, but Death of the Inhumans was a pretty bad cop-out book.
Really, was it?
Yeah.
Did they die?
No.
Of course not.
Triton died, but who cares about Triton?
Who cares about Triton?
Yeah. He's the lead of a bunch of pretty lame characters. He was the lamest.
Yeah, he was a Green Kirby-esque Namor.
Yeah.
Not even a good one at that. No.
Marvel had a good Fishman. They didn't need two. We didn't have Fishman on the moon.
Marvel knew what it was doing. It's like, okay, we got two Kirby-esque fishmen. Get rid of the green one.
The one with the scales. We can keep the sexy one.
Yeah, we can keep the sexy one.
But then Shape of Water came out and they were like, damn it, we lost the sexy one.
Who would have thought the debate over the sexy scaled fishman on Marvel would be a thing?
But yeah, Captain Marvel 12 was a badass opening issue, and I'm hooked. I'm on board. It's going on my pull list.
Yep. I definitely like the costume that they've got on here. And for a while, I thought this was going to be like some kind of a mind control / Dark Phoenix kind of thing. But it seems that it's really Carol being forced into an ugly situation, doing what she has to do.
Yeah. Tearing off Thor's head. Yeah.
And apparently getting rid of Mjolnir somehow.
Yeah. She just decked Mjolnir and punched it into space.
Yeah, so, wow. Did you really think I wouldn't be able to bring back my hammer? He's like sitting there for a while. It's not coming back. Goes, how did you do that? I think she warped it.
Yeah, I just think she punched it like clear across the universe.
This is going to be a good run. I'm really excited about this. And it's a cold open, just like what we did earlier. I mean, right from page 1, it's Danvers just boom right into the fight. No explanation of why she's dressed like this, looking like this. It's just fight time.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I'm in.
What a way to open an arc.
We've also got the penultimate. I can never say
penultimate.
Thank you issue.
It's like ultimate with a pen.
I know. Oh, penultimate. Oh, my brain you fixed my brain, Gideon. Right
You're
here.
Welcome. Glad to see my English majors doing good work.
Next to the last issue of Gwenpool. This is interesting. Of course, this book is just one gigantic joke, but they get really creative with it.
It's a really fun joke.
Yeah, because she's being pursued by the Immortal Hulk because she did not plan ahead very well. And she can't really fight it. So what does she do? She reaches into the different versions of herself from various different books, from Howard the Duck to Champions, to West Coast Avengers to Superior Spider-Man. Yeah. And which one was, there was like, one of them was like a good 3 inches taller than her and worked out more.
That was the Superior Spider-Man one, I believe.
Yeah. Just big woman type. And it is clear that they're poking fun at this because they seem like this. And there's like that size difference.
I'm really impressed by how well David Baldeón imitated the art style of the other Gwen artists, because you've got him
Marshmallow Gwen.
Yeah. Doing a perfect Gurihiru. You've got him doing a pretty damn good Humberto Ramos with the Champions Gwen.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Hard ink lines on that one.
The Mike Hawthorne style Superior Spider-Man Gwen. And I can't remember who drew those issues of Scotty Young's Rocket Raccoon that Gwen showed up in, but it's
I know what you're talking about, but I have no idea who did it.
The one they call Harley Gwen because she was all guns.
4 out of 5 Gwens don't use guns. Guess which one I am.
And they, of course, Leah Williams comes with great little quick captions for every single Gwen. Like the Superior Spider-Man Gwen, as you mentioned, is the works out all the time one. The Champions one, who does unfortunately meet her bitter end to the Immortal Hulk, is a hot dog hoe.
Hey, and they also gave an entire page sight unseen to the creator of Gwenpool.
Yeah,
as he pleases.
Chris Hastings comes in and scripts a page of him showing up as a face in the cloud.
Yeah, bringing up jokes that he wished that fans had gotten back when he first created it, and no one did.
Your father's name is Deadpool.
It's just like, no.
And just some food for thought. If you come from the real world, how was I able to name your parents?
There was also oh god, I'm trying to think. Oh, she put her finger on what the villain of her book is, and the villain of her book is Marvel.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
they're
just
trying
Marvel
to cancel
Comics.
me. And this is my one chance to be relevant so they won't get rid of me or retcon me.
And in that fashion, the final boss of her battle royale she set up is going to be her good friend Kamala Khan Miss Marva. Who eliminates Miles by doing the slap game with the hands. That was one of my favorite quick jokes. Was Miles gets distracted and is like, "Man, can you believe how bad some of these people want to win this?" And Kamala goes, and gets him.
You know what I have to say about this? Even though this book is obviously one big 5-issue gag,
A fun, silly time.
I'm actually become personally invested because I feel bad the fact that no one's reading her. And she talks about why no one's reading her, when people were reading her and they liked her and when they didn't like her. And if this doesn't sell enough, I'm not going to come back. I'm like, I don't want you to go away.
Well, that actually makes a perfect segue because she expresses those exact concerns in Deadpool #1, which came out by Kelly Thompson, who did Captain Marvel, and with one of our personal favorite artists, Chris Bachalo.
And I missed this one.
Yeah, it was real good.
I really wanted to get it, but when I was getting my digital comics, it was not available for whatever reason.
Fool.
I know. I feel bad about it. So when it came in here and you were reading it, I was like, well, I guess I'll read the Captain Marvel one and not that.
So in this, Deadpool is hired to kill the King of Monsters.
As you do.
Yes. And he runs afoul of Elsa Bloodstone, who, as she puts it, you're not paid to kill monsters. You're called to call monsters.
I love Elsa Bloodstone. Next Wave is one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, same.
And I wish that there was some way that we could bring back that. If just not listening to Aaron Stack completely shame on Fleshbags.
Oh, I don't know if you heard about this. He's getting a 2-issue mini for the 2020 event with Iron Man.
Is he going to shame Fleshbags the entire time?
Who's to say? But he is wearing his Next Wave outfit in it. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, so Deadpool and Elsa team up to kill the King of Monsters, which leads to Deadpool becoming the new King of Monsters. And as the new king, he gets a lot of demands put forth at him. But the one that's most relevant is Gwenpool shows up with her baby land shark Jeff from West Coast Avengers. Oh, another Kelly Thompson joint.
There's a stuffed toy in the making.
Oh my
right
God,
there.
yeah. You think Baby Yoda's going to demand plushies? Give me a goddamn Jeff the land puppy.
I want my Baby Yoda and I want my shark dog.
And so she brings Jeff to Deadpool because she's worried about her book end. She's like, yeah, I've only really got like one issue left, and I don't want anything to I think he'll be safer with you because there's no way a Deadpool book is ending. And so she leaves her dog with him.
That's smart.
It's really a sweet, sad little page.
A little cross-pollination there.
Exactly. So yeah, we're getting Deadpool attempting to be a king, kind of failing miserably in Deadpool fashion.
Yeah. With
gorgeous Chris Bachalo art, because I know you know this. I don't know if a lot of our viewers do, though. The man was born to draw crazy monsters. He has those little sweet Tim Burton tentacles all up in there.
And he is definitely a kaiju-friendly artist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited about this book. I've been a Deadpool skeptic for the last couple years, but I'm jumping back on with this one. I added it to my pull list.
I was, too. And I stopped reading Deadpool for a while, even though I was heartbroken when I heard that Deadpool Spider-Man was being canceled. Mm-hmm. I feel like I need to go back and read that entire thing. Because bromance.
You really just need to read the Kelly issues.
Just the Kelly issues?
Yeah, I think it starts to lose a little steam once he leaves.
Who writes after him?
I think Robbie Thompson. It did you know what? No, do read it and spend money on it because it'll make Rob Liefeld mad. Did you hear about the whole Major X thing with that?
All I know is that Major X came. It was a miniseries. People hated it. Now we don't never see it again, and no one's ever referenced it.
Yeah. So before the miniseries came out, though, the artist I can't remember who was drawing because I wasn't reading the book at the time for Spider-Man Deadpool. It's like number 47. Slipped in Major X in a background panel, just like to fill out some space. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is Major X's first appearance," and Rob Liefeld did not like that and threw a fit on Twitter about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because
he's like, "No. My creation first appears in this book, not this one. No. I was
not anymore.
It's like, the people have spoken, Robster. This is a $40 comic now. Which I think since the Major X hype has died down, it's down to being like a $15 book comic at best.
Got some X books now.
Yeah, if I say Deadpool's a good transition to the X universe.
It is a good transition.
So we'll start with Excalibur, which I liked the first issue, but I didn't love it.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really dug this issue.
Because of it's all about
Yes. Who is not normally a character I particularly care about, but I really like what they're doing.
He's got his own book.
Yeah, with his relation to mutant magic.
Mm-hmm.
And that the reveal that the villains of this book are former Apocalypse cultists.
Yeah, apparently that's what happens when you get druids involved in a Marvel X-Men universe.
Yeah.
Apocalypse made them.
I like the I like the good invisible druids that help out Betsy, and then you've got Apocalypse being like, oh yeah, I know those guys. They used to worship me, and then I discarded them because they started to believe that humans could be equal to my greatness.
I just didn't get around to smiting them.
So Apocalypse created a problem for the X-Men.
Yeah, it only took a couple of months to do it too. Way to go!
I really like all the stuff with Jubilee and Shogo. I thought that's really sweet. I'm, for the first time ever, actually interested in Betsy Braddock as a character.
I am too, and I enjoyed the fact that she actually put on the helmet this issue.
Yeah, that was in her little weird dream sequence. That was very fun.
And our boy Shogo, apparently you got to do something with Shogo so he can remain safe, because this is a baby we're talking about. So what do you do when you got a baby and you want to keep it safe? You turn into a dragon.
Obviously, duh.
So that's what I would do.
So when they
dragon,
they cross over into Avalon, and upon entrance, Shogo turns to a dragon, and that's our last page cliffhanger.
That's our last page cliffhanger. Now, as much as we liked Excalibur, Marauders is so much better.
Oh God, Marauders rules.
Marauders is so good. I actually, Marauders made me have to go and like look up somebody on Wiki, because I had completely forgotten about Christian Frost.
Oh yeah, he popped back up in the last Iceman series. Part of that was Emma gets Bobby to help her get her brother out of a jam, and so he gets kind of brought back into the fold.
I remember Christian from way back in the Emma Frost miniseries where he was basically one of the few people in the Frost family that actually had ethics.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't a mutant. He was the only son. He wanted nothing to do with the business. He just wanted to be left alone. And they did almost some real world damage to Christian, because apparently Daddy Frost is not a big fan of the gays. Yeah.
And
he put him into one of those Christian conversion therapy camps, which damaged him further. I forget. Christian was actually connected to another character that was a big in the Marvel universe. And I read the name, but it didn't ring a bell. But when I read the name, it had a link on it. So I think I need to go back and relearn that and try to figure out who he's connected to. But apparently he is now a mutant.
Yeah. And he's part of the Hellfire Club.
And he's got really cool powers. He basically can solidify psionic and astral energies. That's cool.
Fun frosty powers.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what Psylocke does with whole swords and stuff like that, but he's got it in spades. I'm kind of curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, I hope he pops up. I also like that there are slots for, was it bishops and knights? Yeah, we still have the jury still out on who the black bishop and knight and who the red bishop and knight are. Yeah,
it didn't even occur to me that Kate Pride now is going to have to bring in some of her fellows in there.
Yeah. I liked, there's the opening letter where it talks about from like the FBI, where it's like, here is the mutant thing, and talks about the Marauders. And then it's like, surely this boat with 2 Omega level mutants is mostly just a show of force. And I was like, damn, they really do got 2 Omegas on the team.
That was an eye opener for me. I was like, that makes complete sense why Iceman, Storm are there.
I love Storm is constantly having like clouds be over them, so that makes tracking them harder.
And it didn't even occur to me that there are both water-based abilities.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got Pyro. Bad choice, Pyro.
Oh, Pyro gets the worst tattoo.
Oh, my God. Pyro decides it's tattoo time. Nobody wants to get the tattoo. You find out that Storm has a version of tattoos. She will never get a tattoo.
She is a goddess. She doesn't need them.
Yeah. And you see Kate Pride getting something on her wrist. They don't show you. But then, boy Pyro, screw it. He gets a black skull tattooed over his face.
Yeah, it's awful.
It is really awful. And it just tells me that Pyro's probably going to die.
Yeah, Pyro's probably going to die and get his body rebuilt, so we don't have to look at that tattoo.
And he's going to be angry because his tattoo didn't carry over. You watch that. We're going to have a show in like 3 months' time where we're going to be talking about freaking his Pyro's tattoo's gone.
Related to the bad decisions, a tweet I saw point out that like, man, so you're not allowed to smoke in a Marvel comic. You can damn sure get blitzed.
Oh my God, they're so
everyone
blitzed.
in this book is drinking constantly. Like,
and they're smoking weed off camera.
which, yeah, I mean, they're pirates, you know.
Yeah, you
but
should do that.
It's weird seeing Kitty Pryde like knocking back a bottle before getting some knuckle tattoos and stealing a coat. Which a very cool red piratey coat. It's very
I really like that outfit.
Yeah. Looking like who had the red outfit in Sgt. Pepper's?
Oh my God, it was
John
George
Lennon?
Harrison?
Or it was Harrison. He had the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got that big old Sgt. Pepper jacket now.
Yeah, because I believe Lennon had the yellow one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I do really like the entire non-piratey section where it's just Emma revealing to Shaw, it's like, yeah, I know you've been like doing crap behind my back and I'm taking retaliatory action. Also, I've just kind of been like messing with you this whole time. You don't actually get a vote in anything.
Yeah, I mean, she goes the 9 yards on messing with Sebastian Shaw the entire book.
He deserves it.
I mean, just when you think, oh, yes, I've done this and undermined you, Sebastian Shaw, what do you think? Good. I'm glad you think that because I've done this now. Now I've also done this. By the way, I've done this.
I'm very glad we got a whole issue of just Sebastian Shaw humiliation conga. Because one of the things that kind of bugged me when all the Dawn of X stuff was starting was Shaw getting brought back so quickly when we had that amazing Emma Frost one shot that was just her taking over the Hellfire Club from him.
So I guess this is kind of a reminder that the status quo is very quo.
Yes, like Emma Frost is still the HBIC.
She is still running shit.
Exactly.
Now, every time a Marauders thing pops up, I'm a big fan of the old Marauders from the Mutant Massacre, and all of them are actually on Krakoa. That's what blows my mind.
Yeah,
all of the Marauders are there, and they're playing ball. By playing ball, I mean they're not being villainous. So when are they going to start cropping up in some books?
Probably around the same time the Nasty Boys do. You know what? This is going to be our contest. Who pops up first? Your Marauders or my Nasty Boys?
Let's have a gentleman's bet. We'll bet $1 on this that the Marauders pop up before the Nasty Boys.
That sounds good to me.
God damn you, Marauders. Don't fucking make me lose $1.
My name is Slab. I'm a nasty boy.
I hate you, Slab.
Love the Nasty Boys.
It would be cool, though, if they actually got one of the Marauders on this. Like, Harpoon would be perfect for this. He'd be great for this, even though he's a complete piece of shit. I mean, the Marauders really are pieces of shit.
They did, in fact, kill a ton of innocents.
Yeah, they're these not nice guys, and they killed mutant people.
They 100% deserve the multiple deaths they got.
And this is actually not the first time that the Marauders were actually brought in by the X-Men and saying, hey, listen, we're going to give you a pass. During the 198, the Marauders came in an issue and said, hey, listen, we need your protection. It's like, okay, yeah.
Also drawn by, I was thinking about X-Men 198, the Chris Pacello stuff that was called Marauders.
No, this is back when there was only 198 mutants.
The post M-Day stuff, which I'm really, really curious when that's going to pop up in Dawn of X. Because it's mentioned as like one of the kind of catalysts that led to Moira enacting this plan. But when are they going to bring Scarlet Witch to task?
Good point.
I have Scarlet Witch on my X-Men villain shelf because she is the single biggest killer of mutants.
She's a problem.
Yeah.
And what's the score on this one? Is she Inhuman or is she mutant this time?
I think last I checked the story, they're not Inhumans, they're high evolutionary experiments.
Oh, jeez.
But I'm like, if they're high evolutionary experiments, why don't they have horse heads?
Yeah, exactly.
Why aren't they animals?
Maybe they have other horse things that we don't see.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
We are, of course, referring to hooves because Quicksilver's so fast and he's got horsepower.
Oh, I was thinking nads. Quicksilver's got horse nads. I'm going to put other...
Wolfman's got nards.
Wolfman's got
I love Monsters Inc. Monster Squad, that's right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I saw there was a little kid that came into the store the other day with a Stephen King Rule shirt, and I was like, that's the best thing I've ever seen.
There's a Funko Pop that's actually coming out for Stephen King.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Yeah, this one's got like it's a limited release one. I'm going to show it to you here. And like the top part of his head is all covered in blood, like Harry style.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
There was that one. There's a non-bloody one, and then there's one that's his cameo from It. What I just want to know is when do I get one of a movie moment of his all-time classic cameo in Maximum Overdrive?
I knew you were going to bring up Maximum Overdrive.
Honey, the machine called me an asshole.
You know, that movie screwed me up as a kid. Let me tell you. Just because there was like an unwritten rule in movies for quite some time that you didn't show gruesome child death on screen. It just didn't happen. And so the Maximum Overdrive comes up and the cement pile flattener goes out onto the baseball field and flattens a kid. And I'm like, that's horrific. I can't deal with that. My brain's melting.
There was also an unspoken rule to not put the Green Goblin's face on a truck, but Maximum Overdrive was all about breaking down those traditional rules of cinema.
It was going to push that rule. And that was the main villain thing, was that freaking Green Goblin thing.
Yeah, it was like a toy truck.
Of all the random faces to put on that, I wonder if they actually got Marvel's permission to do that.
I believe they did. I mean, like, they would have had to. Because it's not like a generic goblin. Like, it's like, you can see the picture. It's got the big old, it's got the hat. It's got the ears, the eyes. It's the Green Goblin. It's Norman Osborn's face.
It really is. There's
all
really
it's
no way
missing
around
is
it.
the weird horizontal cornrows.
Oh, man. Norman Osborn, I tell you. Are we going to be sitting on Red Goblin for a while? Do you think that's going to get some legs on it?
Oh, he's just got a one shot, so.
Yeah, I think they're really going to stick with that for a while.
And they're doing they're doing a little one shot collecting some key appearances for characters, and Red Goblin's first appearances in there. So
yeah, because now he's complete batshit with that thing.
He's got a big dumb tail.
Oh yeah.
I'm sick of Carnage. Sick of that dude. You know what?
I wish we could fly him up into orbit and tear him in half.
We'll talk about how much we hate Carnage after these messages.
Hey, welcome to episode 14 of Hazardous Materials, last week's comics this week. This is Brooke with Haphazard Fiction, coming to you with a little bit of news. Just wanted to let everybody know that we will not be recording this week due to the Thanksgiving holiday, Black Friday shopping season, so we will probably be partaking in all of the madness. Hope everybody does have a happy Thanksgiving if you are listening in the U.S. or if you're outside the U.S. Happy whatever day it happens to be that you're listening to this. Wanted just to remind everybody that, as a growing podcast, we would love feedback. We would love subscribes. We would love your likes. Anything you can do to support us would really help. Tell your friends if you're coming to us from the comic community. Let your friends know about us. Love to get their feedback, as and every person that listens is a person that can help us grow. So thanks again for tuning in to us, and I take you back to Casey and Gideon with Hazardous Materials.
So, welcome back. So, my first bit of news probably could have been folded into just the comic reviews, but it's kind of indicative of a bigger problem I have with modern comics. So, in the last 2 weeks, we've seen the completion of two major event comics from Marvel and DC. On the DC side, we had Event Leviathan wrap up last week.
Okay.
And on Marvel, we had Absolute Carnage end.
Fork that.
Yeah. Here's the thing that makes me mad. Neither of them had real endings.
I hate fake endings.
Yeah, I really hate miniseries that end just to set up another miniseries. When Event Leviathan, they reveal who Leviathan is. It's we might have brought it up. It's Mark Shaw Manhunter. But anyways, yeah.
Non-event. Moving on.
Yeah. And with that reveal, they're like, then check out Leviathan Ascending. It's like, oh boy, I get to read 6 issues about Mark Shaw, a character who I only know exists because he popped up in Ostrander Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly. And he did do really well in that. I think he got his butt kicked in that.
Yeah, because he was part of a crossover with Checkmate as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that was lame. I was like, wow, glad I wasn't particularly invested in Leviathan, which, actually, funny story, was spoiled by the Jimmy Olsen issue that came out a month before it, but not like directly spoiled. There's a scene of Jimmy driving by a movie theater with a megaphone yelling out, "It was Manhunter! Manhunter!"
That's meta as hell.
Yeah, delightful. A plus Matt Fraction. And Absolute Carnage ends with Venom kills Carnage again, thank God. But it awakens Null, who makes a big old symbiote dragon and is flying to Earth. And it's like, oh boy.
Okay, so I'm going to go on the record on this one. You know about my absolute distaste for Carnage.
Mm-hmm.
Null ain't that far away from that.
Yeah, Null sucks.
Null sucks.
Null real bad.
Yeah, that's we don't need that.
Stop trying to make Null happen, Donny Cates. He's not going to happen.
No one gives a crap about this. You can't even explain the way he looks, for God's sakes. I mean, look at this guy. He's got a spider on his chest. Why?
No, it's not a spider.
It's a dragon.
It's a dragon.
That's horse shit, Cates.
Dumb.
Is it Coates? Cates?
Cates.
Yeah, Cates. I got it right.
I was so mad when I opened up Silver Surfer Black. I was like, remember that sweet Tradmore artwork. Been waiting for a while for a new project from him.
And along comes Cates.
Yeah, stupid Null. Sick of that guy. And I thought maybe Absolute Carnage would be the end of it. I thought, cool. He's going to kill Carnage and maybe kill Null. But no. Null is like, let me get into my Pinto and drive on down there very slowly. So probably like in a year or something, we'll get Null Ascending or something equally dumb. So
that's what I was getting ready to say. Whatever next project Cates is on, are we going to take another gentleman's bet and see when Null's going to show up?
That's a sucker's bet, sir, because he's going to show up. He popped up in Guardians for like one panel.
I guess
tied in Wraith. Do you remember Wraith from Annihilation Conquest? Yeah. He's a symbiote.
Really?
Yep.
Lame.
Yep. Super lame.
I like Wraith. He had that cool man with no name poncho.
Space ghost cowboy.
Yeah, and then that weird worm gun. And what was up with that thing?
I was like, oh, cool, Wraith's back. And then it's tied in a Null, and I'm like, well, this is garbage.
Okay, so now so is Cates a garbage writer? Or is that a garbage creation?
I don't like calling writers garbage.
I do. If Rob Liefeld writes anything, it's garbage.
Because Donny Cates has actually done a bunch of stuff I really enjoy. I love God Country. I love Redneck. Baby Teeth is really, really good. I love his Doctor Strange run. It's just, I don't know. I don't like his big blockbuster comics.
I still have a vendetta against Vendetti.
It's still a big Vendetti's Freedom Fighters has been really good. So even...
That's because he's got no one's great work to completely ruin.
And Exo. Is Exo real good?
Yet again, not really great work that he needs to ruin. He's a ruiner. He's a ruiner of good things. I'll never get over that.
He's on his redemption course.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's got a while to go.
I mean, I still don't like his Hawkman run, but...
He needs to do a one-shot where he brings back the different Lantern Corps he completely ruined.
I think all the Lantern Corps are mostly back. I remember...
Blue?
Hal Pals brought back the blues, I believe.
They brought back the blues?
Yeah, I know at the very least St. Walker has his ring back.
I knew that.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain the whole Blue Corps. Well, I mean, the whole Blue Corps was like 5 people, so.
Yeah, I know. But did they redeem the Indigos for their betrayal during that New Gods crossover?
I don't think so.
Yeah, see?
I think we're just kind of
That was Venditti too.
I think we're just kind of in pretend it didn't happen territory.
One of those retcons, kind of like that time that Harley Quinn absolutely did not create a video game that killed children.
Yeah, we just don't talk about it.
We don't talk about that because it's not supposed to have happened. That's what happens when you give a big character who is on a redemption spike over to a completely new writer and say, "Here, do a one shot and just go with it." And then the editorial, just like how angry I was last time, editorial dropped the bag. Clearly dropped the bag on that one.
I mean, Harley wasn't really on a redemption streak at that point. She was in Suicide Squad taping the Joker's face to Deadshot.
Yeah, but
it was the low point of her character.
Yeah, I mean, she outright made a Game Boy game that killed children.
And I think that one shot's actually why they wanted to do a redemption thing for her, because they were like, oh, damn, we went way too far with this.
Way too dark.
Yeah, so they're like, okay, we gotta swing the anvil back around.
You notice they've never brought it up since?
Oh, yeah, because it's stupid. It was bad.
God, who wrote that?
That was Matt Kent, who's a writer I normally really, really like. He did a really good Martian Manhunter book a few years back. He's been writing Exo Man of War lately, and that's been phenomenal.
You know, I'm not going to blame Kent. I'm going to blame Kent's editor for not telling him what to do.
And that definitely feels like a dumb editor idea from on high that got pitched to a then new writer.
I'm actually going to dig deep and I'm going to find out who was the editorial on that.
Who okayed this?
We're going to point fingers at this. Is going to be like Avengers 200 all over again.
Oh God.
We're going to find out the culprit. Damn it.
So moving on from this onto actual comic news, onto actual news.
We were going to be on rant on that one.
I was like, so yeah, I got beef with miniseries that just lead to other miniseries.
I got beef, but you know what doesn't have beef? A 4th Star Trek film.
Woo! By my man Noah Hawley of Fargo and Legion.
I love Fargo so much.
This makes up for him losing that Doom project that he was supposed to do over at Fox.
Oh God! And what what I can't even say the word I want to associate with the Doom movie that did come out. Who wrote that crap?
Oh no, Doctor Doom, not.
I thought you were talking like Doom.
No. I mean, there is only Doom. Doom.
I love soliloquy. Third reference. Doom. Doom says this. Doom says that. Doom does not agree.
But yeah, he was gonna write he was developing a Doom feature that got axed during the Disney and Fox merger.
Oh,
but now he's developing a Star Trek movie with Chris Pine. Well, if they all sign on for it, the Chris Pine cast with them in mind, it's being written.
Yeah, I mean, the way that they're advertising it sounds like Chris Pine is already on board.
Which I hope so.
Because, I mean, he jumped the ship when they were trying to do a fourth film like 2 or 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Him and Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
That is the correct Hemsworth, right?
Yeah, that was Thor, in fact.
Yeah, because they want to do, I guess, a time travel film?
Yeah, because that worked out so well for Generations, right? But you know what? Two of the best Star Trek movies, First Contact and Voyage Home, are two of the best Star Trek movies.
Yeah, I mean, God, if you'd actually show me the script for Voyage Home like nowadays, sight unseen, and tell me that was going to be one of the best Star Trek films ever made, I would have called you an effing liar.
And that's not just like a backhanded compliment of like, oh, there are worse Star Trek movies. Like, no, Voyage Home is legit great.
Voyage Home is awesome.
They saved the whales. And
they went back in time.
And it's got one of my favorite gags of all time when Scotty is like, computer? Oh, you use the mouse.
How quaint.
Computer.
And then, of course, the transparent aluminum. That's transparent aluminum. Are you going to mess with the time stream? How do we know he didn't invent it?
Nuclear vessels.
Walter Koenig is a comedic genius.
We're getting into dangerous territory of just quoting Voyage Home now.
We could do that for a while.
But yeah, showrunner for two of my number one favorite show, Fargo, and then Legion, which recently ended and is good high concept sci-fi.
Fargo season 1 is probably one of my all time favorite runs. Just I love the idea of the confident hitman pushing the narrative.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Billy Bob Thornton was.
It's my favorite Billy Bob Thornton performance.
Same mine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you watch seasons 2 and 3?
I watched season 2. I'm actually 3 episodes into season 3.
Oh, they're both real good.
Yeah,
they're real good.
Because it's been sitting on the back burner because I'm consuming all this media.
Oh, there's too much.
I mean, I've got 6 streaming services that I'm subscribed to, and I've just added Disney to it, so I got all this media to consume. So poor Fargo has been sitting on the back burner for quite some time.
See, I a millennial, have friends who have different streaming services, and we just have a cabal of password sharing.
Ah, yes. And this is the reason why I don't pay for comic books on the regular, and you do. See, exactly. Our money is all hedged in different things.
I got my priorities straight.
This is the reason why you map out our comic stuff and I map out our new stuff, because this is where we throw our money.
And speaking of throwing money.
Yep. Joker.
Yeah.
Crossing $1 billion.
First R-rated movie to do so.
Yeah. Highest R-rated movie ever, bypassing our good friend Deadpool by quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we going to do with this?
Well, apparently they're doing a sequel. Todd Phillips said that he's developing one.
I've been seeing some back and forth on this because I know there was a lot of buzz about him. Somebody saying that he was going to do it. Mm-hmm. And I know Warner Brothers wants some more of that fat Deadpool sized cash. But now I'm seeing that there's rumors. Well, not rumors, but there's they're saying he's not committed to it at all. So who knows what's going on? All I know is that it's just a matter of Warner Brothers going, hey, here's this paycheck. Here's that paycheck.
Of them just bagging up a couple extra trucks to him and Joaquin's houses.
I actually did not see this coming. I expected Joker to do some moderate level, $50 million. I did not expect $1 billion.
I mean, Joker is like, I feel like it's not hyperbole to say he's the most popular supervillain in the world.
I did not see the juggernaut of that coming. I mean, I swear that I was totally blind to this. And I even told you I thought it was going to make some big money and it was going to be successful, but I did not have the foresight on this one at all.
It was none of my money because I still haven't seen it.
Really?
Yeah, I just haven't gotten out to go see it.
I threw ducats at it. It was an enjoyable afternoon.
That's what I hear. I should probably go out and go see it, but at this point, I'll just wait for a DVD release. Which, moving on from there, of home entertainment, we got actually an intro for the Hawkeye show.
Yeah, which 2 years early.
Yeah, really weird.
I was really surprised by this. When I heard about this, I was like, that's got to be fan made. There's no way that's legit. I mean, we're not going to see Hawkeye until at least 2021 and in the summer of 2021. Yeah. But boom, there it is.
With gorgeous David Aja inspired visuals.
Yeah, it looks like the Matt Fraction books are like animated. Mm-hmm. It looks great. And it's clearly classic Kate Bishop in this.
Yes.
I'm really excited about this.
But will she have...
I've got goosebumps under my
will
hoodie.
She have the dumb hip window? Always thought that was a terrible design choice.
Yeah, well... I didn't even know about it until you brought it up. I actually had to go back to my brain and think about it.
She got hip holes.
Yeah, I guess they were just trying to make her look different because she was like a one color thing.
Yeah.
She was just purple.
And then again, like David Aja did great work in giving Kate a variety of really cool outfits throughout that Hawkeye run.
Yeah, she's always got that flowing scarf thing.
Yeah,
I really like that.
She has like different details, like she'll have different hats, she'll have different shirts.
I truly hope they take a lot of notes from Matt Fraction's run on this miniseries. And I need to have the tracksuit mafia saying bro we need constantly.
Tracksuit Draculas, and we need Pizza Dog.
Yes.
I demand a 45-minute adaptation of Pizza's My Business, one of the single greatest comic issues of the last decade.
Pizza Dog is a necessity for this.
So in Fraction Aha's run, there is an issue completely from his dog's perspective, and it's done in a muted color palette to imitate what a dog's range of vision looks like. There's not no dialogue. You see like scribbled in the speech balloons the words he recognizes. So
like
he'll
pizza
see
dog.
he'll see like pizza or good boy.
Because he's a good boy.
Yeah, he is a good boy. And the way they visualize sense is through pictographs. It's just a really ingenious work of comics.
Matt Fraction, I cannot shower enough praise on Matt Fraction's use of Hawkeye. Not just from an artistic viewpoint, but completely acknowledging his handicap and the heavy use of ASM.
Yeah, the ASL issue. Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, David Aja does an amazing job of drawing all of the signals. Mm-hmm. I completely forgot what the proper word was.
It shows you the actions that he's doing. Yeah. A little blurb on what they mean.
Use speech bubbles with like not without dialogue, just with
yeah. I actually, when they did that issue, I had to go and research to figure out what they were saying in there because my ASL is so bad. And that's actually sad because I've got people in my family who are knee deep in the ASL community, both teaching at in schools that only deal with the deaf. And so like both of my cousins are like completely fluent with ASL.
Oh, wow.
So that's something I've always wanted to pick up on my own. But then again,
maybe you should ask him for help.
Stinks of effort.
But yes, very hyped for the Hawkeye show. 2 years is far too long to wait. But Moon Knight, another Disney Plus show.
A little cross-pollination.
Have maybe a stealth first showing up in the Blade movie?
Oh, I think they're going to go beyond that. I mean, Moon Knight started off as a werewolf hunter.
Yeah, he fighting werewolf by night.
So I'm thinking maybe we're going to have a little bit of werewolf action in the Blade movie. I just think they've all said that these Disney Plus shows are going to be cross-pollinating into, God, he's cross-pollination way too much, into the movies with a frequency, and I guess this is our first example of that.
Yeah,
I'm really excited about it.
Can't wait to see him demand Dracula to give him his money.
Give me my damn money, you nerd. That's a good example. You know what? We gotta show that gag. Come on, put up the gag there. I love arrogant drunk Moon Knight. What was that other one? Get out of here, you drunk freak, or something like that.
That's the one where he They use a West Coast Avengers panel where he's on the screen and he says that Dracula gave him that number, and they're like, Dracula's not even an Avenger. It's the Moon Knight needing
drunk asshole.
Needing his money from Dracula is a quality editing running gag. Not an official one. They're fan made edits, but they're great.
They are fan made edits, but I would read an entire graphic novel of Moon Knight trying to get his damn money from Dracula. Oh God! All right, so moving on from that, we got Stargirl, one of the shows that's going to be that's happening on DC's
DC Universe,
DC Universe's subscription service,
which is the one that I pay for.
Yeah,
in my cabal.
I also have it. I got it right about the time they announced Swamp Thing, and then like 2 weeks later they canceled the show.
So I'm still mad about that.
Yeah, I am too.
But it was a great show while it lasted.
Because I know you're a big Swamp Thing fan,
yes.
and I saw the production value on that show was really high. So I was like, I'm in on this.
Absolutely gorgeous.
So I think they did this because they really want Stargirl to be part of the whole CW gang. I mean, part of the Crisis.
Yeah, she is like, she's Jeff Johns' baby, and Jeff Johns has been working like crazy on this show. It's why all of his books have been so one of the reasons all of his books have been so heavily delayed is because I believe he's showrunner and directing several episodes as well.
Isn't the Titans also showing up on the Crisis crossover? I
don't believe so.
You think? Because I'm going to hear weird rumors of all kinds of shows.
Stargirl is maybe
because they're getting Black Lightning in on it. I've already seen footage of that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen Tom Welling's footage. So
still ain't wearing a damn suit.
No, he's not. What's up with that?
Maybe they're saving it for the episode. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't wear it, though.
I saw the last episode of Smallville. My producer is a big fan of Smallville. And that's the reason why I watched it is because you kept telling me it was actually a decent show. And I was like, when is he going to get the damn suit on? And when he finally does, it's like the last 5 seconds. And it's animated on. He doesn't even really
Tom
wear
Welling
it.
didn't wear it.
Bastard. I was let down.
But yeah,
I blame you.
So Stargirl apparently can be introduced in Crisis, then have her DC Universe show, and then they're going to play reruns of that show on the CW.
Yep.
So that's kind of interesting also seeing that, I'm going to use your magic word, cross-pollination.
Cross-pollination.
That's the $5 word of the day.
Definitely $5. I would say let's call the episode cross-pollination, but you know what? That would get no clicks whatsoever.
It's true.
It's like, oh, hey, look, it's a show about cross-pollination. I bet it's about bees and crap.
Some bee enthusiasts.
We're not watching bee enthusiasts talk about cross-pollination.
But we do have one last bombshell.
One last one. This was we kind of spied that there's something going on here.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened. The big thing the shoe is not dropped.
Yes.
But we feel like the shoe is in the air.
There's a sock.
There's a sock action. But a lot of people talk about this Snyder cut like it's real. And now it's turning out the entire Justice League cast has all tweeted that, hey, let's see that Snyder cut, including people who still have a vested interest in DC.
Like Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa,
who I love.
Now, I spent a good 2 years saying, you people are crazy. There's no way they'll release the Snyder cut. A, he left midway through production, and B, like there's still tons of unfinished effects. But, having a streaming service launch is a awful big incentive to pour some money into something dumb.
If they're also going to spend some money, what they could do is completely unsaturate Man of Steel.
That'd be fun.
I would love to see some bright colors in Man of Steel. I think that would actually make it a better film.
Maybe. I mean, I'm a pretty ardent defender of Man of Steel.
I love Man of Steel, but I've also seen what Man of Steel can look like. What it was supposed to before they saturated it. I should explain what I'm talking about. Man of Steel, if you actually watch it, is dark as all hell. But if you actually see some of the footage, some of the photos that came from the shooting of it, his suit is very bright. Everything we're dealing with bright colors, bright skies, bright blues, but then when it came down to do like color correction, everything like that, everything looked like it just got mud thrown on it. It just became a dark film.
Yeah.
And I really think I think that Man of Steel would be a better film with a brighter blue and a brighter red on the outfit.
Yeah, I can see that. Like Justice League's suit looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Which now I'll go to bat for Justice League. It's a dumb mess of a movie.
It really is.
But it's fun. It's got it's some of my favorite Superman stuff ever in film.
Even with
even with his terrifying lip.
But and Batfleck, I still swear by it. He's best Batman,
best cinematic Batman.
It's best cinematic Batman, and I'm sad that we're not going to see it anymore. Now, granted, I think that Pattinson is going to do great.
I'm so excited for the Batman,
but I could have dealt with at least one more Batfleck.
Me too. Batfleck versus Deathstroke would have ruled.
Yeah, but you know what? I think maybe he knew what he was doing. Leave him wanting, right?
Yeah, and like I know there's a ton of stuff going on in his personal life, and there's really been taking a toll on him with the Batman role. So I respect Ben Affleck for getting out when he did. Yeah.
I wonder what his script looked like.
Maybe who knows? Maybe we'll get it released at some point.
I want the Snyder cut of Batfleck script.
Give me the Affleck cut.
The Affleck cut. Give me the Affleck.
I mean, we know he's cut as hell.
Yeah. So with that bit, we were plumb run out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're still a nascent show. This is show number 14. Still waiting for the big YouTube dollars that have not quite yet arrived, but help us get there. Like us where you see us. Check us out on Patreon. We've got a super secret episode still waiting for people to check out there. What else we got going on? We got an Instagram where we're sending all the images that you've seen on this show to there. So if you kind of want to see what the hell were they talking about with that mask thing and that what was he saying there? It's going to be on the Instagram. Hazmat Show is our Instagram thing. What else we got going on?
You could leave us a review.
Yeah,
always nice.
Yes, please.
I like those. Leave us comments.
Yeah, let us know if we rock and if we suck. I mean, it's YouTube. It's what you're supposed to do in the first place, right?
Tell your friends. Make them watch us, even if we hate us.
Yeah.
Especially if you hate us.
Especially if you hate us. The hate crowd. That's where we're going to get our money for on YouTube. Is the hate crowd.
$8.
Thank you for your sweet $8.
Donnie Cates, please don't hate me.
You know what?
I think you're an all right guy, but I just don't like that null boy.
I think you suck. Yeah, come in and tell me how much I suck because I'm just running a podcast.
Point and counterpoint. Well, I think it's going to do it for this week.
Indeed. See ya.